So today we're going to dive into an artist's deeply personal journey, one that takes us from a really profound loss to a new kind of hope. We're going to do this by looking through the pages of her diary. Her name is Elara, and her story, I think, reveals something powerful about how we all heal. Our story starts with this single line from Elara's diary, and wow, it just perfectly captures that hollow feeling, right? Of being like a ghost in your own life. You know the world is still moving on, but you just can't feel any part of it. That's the headspace we're stepping into. So this feeling, it plunges her into what she calls the world in gray. It's a time where all of life's colors just feel muted, completely trapping her in the stillness of her grief. 3 months. Think about that. For 3 whole months, Elara has been living in a fog since a devastating storm at sea. She writes in her diary about how the world outside has started to mirror the world inside her. You know, the sky, the sea, all of it just drained of color, reflecting this deep, deep numbness. And you can really feel this when she talks about her studio. The one place that was once her sanctuary, her voice, has just fallen silent. Now she says it just smells of dust and dried paint. It's a perfect metaphor for the creative block that's totally taken hold of her. But then, after that long period of just nothing, something begins to shift. And it's not some big dramatic breakthrough. No, it's a single, fragile line, just a tiny, almost unnoticeable crack in the surface of her grief. You really can't overstate how huge this tiny action is. For the first time since the tragedy, Elara actually picks up a sketchbook. And the line she draws, well, it's crooked and fragile, but it's alive. And that's the very first sign that her creative spirit, it hasn't been completely snuffed out. And this small step leads to a really pivotal moment. Another artist asks if she paints, and her answer says it all. I used to be an artist. She's defining herself completely by her past, but the stranger offers a new way of looking at it. The rest is just a pause. Such a simple reframing, right? But for her, it changes, well, pretty much everything. And here's the key insight the stranger gives her. He says he sketches not to capture perfection, but to remember life in all its messy imperfection. This just completely flips the script for Elara. Suddenly, art isn't about creating something beautiful, it's about honest remembrance. And that one idea, it's the big turning point in this whole story. Elara begins to remember differently. Her whole relationship with her own memories starts to change, shifting them from this source of constant pain into a source of quiet strength. She finds an old photo of them, and the frame is cracked. And this becomes this powerful metaphor for her. The frame of her life, yeah, it's broken. There's no denying that. But the memory, the love inside that frame, it's still whole. It's untouched. It's even defiant in the face of all the damage. And this is the core realization she comes to. It's a universal truth about grief, isn't it? The goal isn't to just erase the past, because you can't. The real path forward is about learning to hold those memories in a new way, a way that doesn't just break you. Then she finds a letter, one written before the storm. It's like a message from beyond, giving her permission, no, more like a command, to return to her art. And it's not just about painting. It's about using her art to connect with the very feeling of being alive that she was so sure she had lost forever. So this letter, it becomes the final catalyst. It empowers her to start painting with feeling. She steps back into her studio, but as a totally changed artist, ready to channel all that pain, all that love, and all that memory onto her canvas. And what a contrast. Remember that dusty, silent room from before? Well, now the space is alive. It's filled with the sense of active creation, turpentine, lavender oil, and something she just describes as light. These smells, they tell you everything has changed. This becomes her new philosophy. She's not chasing perfection anymore, not chasing technical skill. Her only goal now is to chase feeling, because for her, that feeling, any feeling at all, is the ultimate proof that she's still here, that she made it through. And the result is art that truly connects with people. At her first exhibition, a visitor came up to her and said her work felt alive. The very life she was rediscovering inside herself was now just radiating from her canvases, and it was touching others in this really profound way. And this all brings us to the end of her journey, where Elara finds a new name for this feeling that has so quietly taken root in her life, the whisper of hope. So after everything she's been through, right? After staring into that gray emptiness for so long, what has she learned? What is hope to someone who has felt its complete and total absence? And here's her answer. It's just beautiful. Hope isn't some loud shout or a big, triumphant feeling. For Elara, it's become this quiet, constant presence, a whisper, one you find in the rustle of leaves or the scent of rain, or in the silence between the waves. It's something you can only hear when you finally learn to be still and just listen. And she leaves us with this final, really profound thought. Maybe hope isn't something we go out and find. Maybe it's something we remember, an awareness of light and connection that's actually been inside us all along, just waiting for the world to grow quiet enough for us to finally hear it.